There are no signs that this cold Arctic January is going to let up anytime soon, and in fact, there are multiple chances of more Canadian cold air coming down with winter weather threats. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping you up to date on all things winter weather. If you're new to this page, we talk all things weather. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as we are going to watch everything that's heading our way. And here we go again, another big dive of Canadian cold air coming down our way. And the new European model that just finished processing shows this could be the coldest air we've had so far this winter. I mean, it's cold out right now. We've got lows in the single digits, even minus below zero temperatures in parts of the Midwest. As we move throughout this week, it's going to be one of those weeks where some of us start to recover toward the end of the week, and then the atmosphere begins to reload. And look at this. As we go into Sunday, a lot of the United States dropping below zero. Do you remember last year? I just remember Patrick Mahomes and that helmet that broke, and temperatures were -2, -3, -4 during the game. This is that kind of cold air coming back our way as we head into the end of this week. About a week from today, a lot of the country will be in the deep freeze, and it looks like that spreads in for MLK Day and MLK week for that matter. It looks like that cold air dives as far south as Mexico, the panhandle of Florida, and it just hangs out across the East Coast. You know what that means. That leaves the United States vulnerable to any kind of low pressure system that comes our way, providing for wintry weather threats. And that is exactly what our European model wants to hint at for 2 runs in a row now. Now, caution. Time out. We are 7 to 8 days out from anything that the models would be trying to develop as a threat. So you know what that means. We are in the pattern recognition mode. We don't know specifics. We don't know if this thing's going to happen. We're just recognizing a pattern that shows that we're vulnerable to it, right? As we get into that 5 to 7 day time frame, we're telling you if that's trending up or down. And then 3 to 5 days out, we're giving you totals, we're giving you timing, we're giving you more specific and precise locations. So here we go again. Cold air this week. I mean, it doesn't really get warm, but by the end of the week, as we go toward say Thursday, Friday's time frame, we're letting go of the coldest air, and we might actually get to highs in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees across the I-85 corridor. That would be Thursday and Friday. But up until then, we are just bone-chilling cold. But what do the models say about next week? Remember Sunday, I told you we're in the deep freeze across the country. When you wake up Monday morning, these whites on our European model are below zero. Notice there are pockets. Beech Mountain, Sugar Mountain, Mount Mitchell, Mount Pisgah. This model actually picking up on those below zero temperatures really well at the high peaks of North Carolina. Then you go back here toward the upper Midwest. We're talking -10, -20 degrees on the thermometer. That doesn't even take into account the wind chill value, which, as I show you that, would be -9 in Asheville, 13 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 0 in Nashville, -30, -40 up here toward the upper Midwest. Again, that's the wind chill value, the actual temperature, not quite that cold, but I mean, this is the coldest air we've had so far this season. We'd be below zero again Tuesday morning in the high peaks of North Carolina, 12 in Asheville and Hendersonville. All of these cities from Pennsylvania to New York, all getting very close to zero. This would be the morning after MLK Day, the morning after the national championship, the morning after the inauguration. Speaking of the inauguration, I mean, 17, 18 degrees for the inauguration, and then cooling down that night to 4, 5, 6 degrees. So, I mean, it's always cold on Inauguration Day, it seems, but this one looks to be extra cold. All right, then going in the middle of the week, we've got lows still in the single digits and teens, and highs that are in the 20s and 30s. I mean, this European model just goes nuts on how cold the air could be all of next week. Now, this is the 2-meter temperature. The European model wants to show we could be below zero in parts of North Carolina. So this would be some of the coldest air that we've had in a very, very long time. Could be a couple of degrees above zero in the upstate of South Carolina. I mean, this would be 4, 5, 6 degrees in Atlanta, 4, 5, 6 degrees in Charlotte. This model really, really shows the depth of this Canadian cold air settling down across the United States to where we could be near zero in parts of the South next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So again, coldest air we've had in years could be heading our way. What do the models show as far as winter weather threats? Well, let's take a closer look at that. Here is the European model that goes out this week. Again, this week's relatively tame, relatively calm, but it's as we go into next week that we get into some interesting time frames. Saturday night, Sunday, there's a regular old rain for a lot of the South. That's as the pattern transitions to cold, and I mean very cold. This European model shows a threat coming along with that. Anytime you change patterns around, it gets the atmosphere jacked up and you get some energy. This European model shows next Tuesday, the 21st, again, 8-9 days from now. So is there a pattern that favors snow? Well, this European model says absolutely. And it says, here we go again. This European model goes nuts with snow across the deep south. Same areas as a threat for last time. We got Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, areas that just had snow. Only this time, this model has it much, much colder, not only here at the surface, but high above us. So is it right? Nobody can tell you, but is there a pattern that supports snow? Absolutely, and it would be farther south than previously indicated. In fact, parts of the panhandle of Florida could have a wintry mix in this solution. It's a deep, low pressure with some of the coldest air we've had in a very, very long time. Very, very cold air. In fact, as that snow were to leave, let's go back to those surface temperatures, and again, this model wants to show 5, 6, 7 degrees across upstate South Carolina, 10 degrees in Atlanta, and maybe 2 or 3 degrees in Charlotte. All of these temperatures would be at zero or below zero. Now, that's a long ways out in the European model land, but it does show some serious cold air, and it does reflect well with one of our pattern recognizers, basically something we look at to see if the pattern favors something or not. And this European model does say it turns positive this week, which would reiterate near normal temperatures, no blocking pattern, but it turns significantly negative during that exact time frame, Sunday into that middle of next week. And that would indicate a pattern that would say, hey, yeah, this time frame does support some mess coming our way. And what does it look like? We have to wait and see. But if this model is right, it would spit out some serious heavily snow totals and some areas that were threatened this past Friday. But again, I think the cold air, the depth of that cold air could be more pronounced this time. And that would indicate to us at least a higher threat for colder temperatures. And again, 0, 1, 2, 3 degrees, maybe even below zero on some of these models going into next week. It is, statistically speaking, the coldest time frame of the season. Do we get any low pressure systems to match up with it? That is yet to be determined, but we're going to map it out and wait and see. So, hey, just as I saw the models come in, I wanted to let you know, woof, they are showing some serious cold air going into next week where some of us could be just above zero. We got there 2 years ago, right before Christmas. GSP, 3 degrees. Atlanta, 2 degrees. Charlotte was 4 degrees. So the South has had some serious cold air around this time of the year many times before. So, hey, if you're new to this channel, you just stumbled upon it, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, as we are committed to keeping you posted on all things weather and all things severe weather that could be trying to come our way in the coming days, including significantly colder air and the potential for wintry weather in the next 10 days.